Election day was today, Monday, the 11th, and as a result, the following candidates have accepted their party's nomination to contest the elections. Nevis District 1 Charlestown candidates are Spencer Brand of the Concerned Citizens Movement and E. Roberto Hector of the Nevis Reformation Party.
What is expected today for nomination of the candidates is that we'll have two nominees. Two nominees will come in along with the candidate, and then I will have to verify that they are indeed registered, at least the nominees are registered in the area. However, the candidate does not necessarily have to be registered in the area that he is contesting, but the nominees must be. They will be given the nomination paper part 1, a statutory declaration of a person nominated as a candidate for the election as a member of the National Assembly. And the candidates, they would swear and they would fill out this information. On the back, the nominees will then fill out, and both of them will have to sign. A fee of $150 would be paid, and a receipt would be drawn up, and everything is done in carbon copy, such that the candidate will get a copy of the receipt. They will also get a copy of the nomination paper, and then from there the information would be directed to the electoral office. The monies that are collected are deposited in the treasury.
Disqualified as a member of the National Assembly by virtue of me having a contract or interest or any contract with government or with the department. No, sir, I have none of those things.
Thank the people of Charlestown in advance. I have contested this seat on a number of occasions. Presently, the incumbent, I don't see any reason on earth why the status quo should not remain the same. I want to thank Dr. Daly, my campaign advisor, who is with me today, and Kaylin, young voter within the constituency. As a party, we have brought that approach whereby we include persons of all ages. I want to thank my party for giving me the opportunity once again to be their candidate. And it is my prayer that on election day, change would come in this country.
It is with a sense of anticipation that we are here at the Magistrate Court to nominate the first candidate for the CCM party, Mr. Spencer Brand. Mr. Spencer Brand is no stranger to the stage. However, this election season, he has a renewed vigor and a renewed passion for wanting to work for the people of St. Paul's at the highest level, that is at the level of government. And so as we are here to fully endorse him through nomination today, I am indeed elated And I feel strongly that the people of St. Paul's would make the right choice in Spencer Brand come next week, Monday, because he is someone who is very tempered in the sense that he is a quiet, unassuming person with a big heart, but with that heart of helping to better the lives of people in his area and by extension the entire island of Nevis.
Of the Constitution of St. Christopher to be elected as a member of the National Assembly for the electoral district, and that one, I am a citizen of St. Christopher Nevis at the age of 21 years. I am domiciled in St. Christopher Nevis. I am not by virtue of my own act and the acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power, of my having any contract or interest in any contract with the government or with the Department of Government or any office of the government acting as such. I make this declaration conscientiously believing that if there is any statement in this declaration which is false or do not believe to be true, I am liable to a fine and imprisonment as prescribed by law. We have just witnessed the signing and the nomination of yours truly, Spencer Brand, as the candidate in the constituency of St. Paul's. It is official. I was nominated today by Donella Bartlett and Curtis Claxton, both of whom are from the constituency of St. Paul's. And I want to thank them so much for endorsing me and making sure that everything was done here today legally and in order. And I want to say to the good people of St. Paul's to consider me favorably in this election and allow me the privilege to be your representative in St. Paul's. I believe that the times ahead in St. Paul's will be very exciting with yours truly, Spencer Brand, as your next representative.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. It's official.
District 2, St. John's, the candidates are Mark Brantley of the Concerned Citizens Movement and Hensley Daniel of the Nevis Reformation Party.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
It's actually afternoon.
Good afternoon. The St. Christopher Nevis National Assembly Elections Act designated today as nomination day, the 11th of December 2017. I am your returning officer, Mr. Rowan Claxton, to the proceedings. Who here stands to nominate Mr. Brantley?
Hi, Dennis Brown.
Name and number, registration, please. Just to confirm that you're so on the list.
It's Dennis Brown.
Dennis Brown. Self-employed, wrong?
Yes.
Okay, your number is 155.
155.
Please remember that number. Sir, Colin Tyrrell, lawyer, nomination. 1269. 1269. 1269, number.
I, Mark Brantley of Montpelier, in the island of Nevis, do solemnly and sincerely swear as follows. I'm duly qualified in accordance with sections 27 and 28 of the Constitution of St. Christopher Nevis to be elected as a member of the Nevis Island Assembly for the electoral district, and that I'm a citizen of St. Christopher Nevis of the age of 21 years and upwards. I am domiciled in St. Christopher Nevis. I am not by virtue of my own act under acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state. I am not a minister of religion. I am not an undischarged bankrupt, having been a judge or otherwise declared bankrupt under any law. I am not a person certified to be insane or otherwise a judge to have unsound mind under any law. I am not disqualified from membership of the Nevis Island Assembly by any law of the National Assembly by reason of my holding or acting in any office, the functions of which involved any responsibility for or in connection with the conduct of any election of representatives or members of the Nevis Island Assembly, or any responsibility for the compilation of any register of voters. I am not disqualified from membership of the National Assembly by virtue of any law of Parliament by reason of my having been convicted of criminal offence that is connected with the conduct of any election of representatives or members of the Nevis Island Assembly, or having been reported guilty of such an offence by a court trying an election petition. I am not disqualified from membership of the National Assembly by any law of Parliament by reason of my holding or acting in any office or appointment specified by such law, my belonging to any defence force or to any class of persons so specified that is comprised in any such force, my belonging to any police force specified by such law or to any class of person so specified. I am not disqualified for membership in the Nevis Island Assembly by virtue of having any contract or interest in any contract with the government or with the Department of Government or any officer of the government acting as such. I make this declaration conscientiously believing the same to be true, and I am aware that if there is any statement in this declaration which is false or I do not believe to be true, I am liable to a fine and imprisonment as prescribed by law.
I, the undersigned voter for the constituency of Nevis, do hereby nominate the following person as a proper person to serve as a member of the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis for the said constituency. He is qualified for election as a member of the Assembly.
I, we understand, undersigned voter for the constituency of number Nevis 2, do hereby nominate the following person as a proper person to serve as a member of the National Assembly.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Congratulations. You're now nominated.
I just want to thank everyone for this really momentous and historic occasion. I want to thank my wife Sharon for being here with me. I want to thank Colin Tyrrell and Dennis Brown, better known as Rudy. The public may not know, but since I entered politics in 2007, Colin Tyrrell and Dennis Brown have always been the ones to nominate me. I think it's a winning combination, and I'm asking the people of St. John's to help us continue to make it a winning combination. So today I think it's a fantastic day for us, and we certainly now look forward to Election Day. We look forward to engaging with the people of the various constituencies. We think we have a formidable team, a team which is a young team, a team which is full of ideas, energy, and most importantly, commitment to the people of Nevis. And we ask you to go out on Election Day, December 18th, and vote for the Concerned Citizens Movement. Vote for the hammer, and make sure that we continue to build on the excellent platform that we have here in the island of Nevis. Thank you, and may God bless you all, and see you on Election Day.
I am not disqualified for membership of the Nevis Island Assembly by any law of Parliament by reason of.
I am not disqualified for membership of the National Assembly by any law of Parliament by reason of.
A. My holding or acting in any office or appointment specified by such law.
My holding or acting in any office or appointment specified by such law.
My belonging to any defense force, to any class of persons so specified that is comprised in any such force.
My belonging to any defense force or to any class of persons so specified that is compromised in any such force.
And C. My belonging to any police force specified by such law or to any class of persons so specified.
My belonging to any police force specified by such law or to any class of persons so specified.
I am not disqualified for membership in the National Assembly by virtue of my having any contract or interest in any contract with the government or with the Department of Government or any officer of the government acting as such.
I am not disqualified for membership in the Nevis Island Assembly by virtue of my having any contract or interest in any contract with the government or with a department of government or any officer of the government acting as such. I make this declaration conscientiously believing the same to be true, and I am aware that if there is any statement in this declaration which is false or do not believe to be true, I am liable to a fine and imprisonment as prescribed by law. Critical step in moving towards the election. One has to be nominated, and this morning I have my two colleagues with me who have supporters who have nominated me, and I'm sure that we will prevail. We have begun the work and we have continued to do the work, and we think that we are in a very, very high state of readiness, and we have done the requisite level of canvassing, and we look forward to the next week. But as I said, this is a critical step because it begins, you have an announcement of the date, then you have nominations, and then you have the elections. So we have very little time to talk, but more time to work, and we look forward to continuing the process. I want to thank my two supporters who have come to endorse my nomination. And I am certain that every time we do a nomination, we do something new, do something different. And so thank you very much for your support, and we look forward to the results on December 18. Thank you very much.
District 3, Gingerland, the candidates are Eric Evelyn of the Concerned Citizens Movement and Corey Tyson of the Nevis Reformation Party.
certification of Eric Evelyn nominated as a candidate for elections as a member of the National Assembly for the Electoral District Nevis 3. I, Eric Evelyn of Hanleys Road in District 3, Nevis, do solemnly and sincerely swear to affirm as follows, that I am duly qualified in accordance with sections 27 and 28 of the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis to be elected as a member of the National Assembly for the Electoral District, and that I am a citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis of the age of 21 years and upwards. I am domiciled in St. Christopher and Nevis. I am not, by virtue of my own act, under acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state. I am not a minister of religion. I am not an undischarged bankrupt, having been a judge or otherwise declared bankrupt under any law. I am not a person certified to be insane or otherwise adjudged to be of unsound mind under any law. I am not under a sentence of death imposed on me by a court of law in any part of the Commonwealth, nor am I serving a sentence of imprisonment by whatever name called exceeding 12 months imposed on me by such a court or substituted by a competent authority for some other sentence of imprisonment, the execution of which has been suspended. I am not disqualified from membership of the National Assembly by any law of the National Assembly by reason of my holding or acting in any office the functions of which involve any responsibility for or in connection with the conduct of any election of representatives of members of the Nevis Island Assembly, or any responsibility for the compilation of any register of voters for the purpose of electing representatives or members of the Nevis Island Assembly.
Undersigned voters of the constituency of District 3 do hereby nominate the following person as a proper person to serve as a member of the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis for the said constituency of Nevis, and we certify that to the best of our belief he is qualified for election as a member of the National Assembly.
That's yours as well. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you. The end of the process. I want to say thanks to the folks who have been supporting me so heavily here in St. George. I want to especially thank Deslin Evelyn and Kerry Hendrickson for nominating me. And I want to let the people of St. George know that I have been your servant for many years, and I will continue to serve with distinction. Everything I do, people is at the center of what I do, and I'm asking the people of St. George to continue to support me overwhelmingly, and I certainly will not let you down. I will continue to be your servant.
Is indeed a momentous occasion. We have just witnessed the nomination of Eric Evelyn. This has not been seen for the past 30 years, or the length of time we've been having elections. A couple of weeks ago, we saw the handing over of the baton from the Honorable Vance W. Amory, who has been the parliamentarian for this constituency for 30 long and rewarding years. We saw him handing over the baton to Eric Evelyn, and so Eric being the newest kid on the block and the newest person in this election, we are truly happy and truly elated with his nomination.
Good morning. I, Corey Tyson of Hanleys Road in the District 3 of Ginger and Nevis, do solemnly and sincerely swear and or affirm as follows,
that I am duly qualified in accordance with Section 27 and 28 of the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis to be elected as a member of the National Assembly for the electoral district, and that I am, as citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis of the age of 21 years and upwards, I am domiciled in St. Kitts and Nevis. I am not, by virtue of my own act, under acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state. I am not a minister of religion. I am not an undischarged bankrupt, having been adjudged or otherwise declared bankrupt under any law. I am not a person certified to be insane or otherwise adjudged to be of unsound mind under any law.
Undersigned voters for the constituency of Nevis 3 do hereby nominate the following person as a proper person to serve as a member of the National Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis for the said constituency of Nevis 3, and we certify that to the best of our belief, he is qualified for election as a member of the National Assembly.
I'm at loss for words, the amount of emotion that's pent up inside. It's an honor, once again, to be offering up myself as a candidate to represent Gingerland Nevis 3 in the upcoming Nevis Island elections. I pledge, and my constituents have my word, that I would work assiduously, diligently, to represent them in the best manner, because representation, proper representation, is what they've been craving for a long time, and I am putting my foot to the ground and will deliver. My party and myself, we believe that everyone should have a say. We are the party for all, and we are the party with the plan, the proposals, and the ideas to move Nevis forward, and we are putting ourselves out there, and we are committed to serving this country. Thank you, and I do want to say thank you to all of my all the supporters. Without a doubt, I'd have to say thanks to my good friend Delroy Huggins, Deli, and Thomas Elbound for nominating me, for having the confidence in me to deliver for the good people of Nevis.
District 4, St. James's. The candidates are Virgil Brown of the Nevis Reformation Party and Alexis Jeffers of the Concerned Citizens Movement.
That I am a citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis. I am domiciled in the St. Kitts and Nevis. I am not, by virtue of my own act, under acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state. I am not a minister of religion. I am not an undischarged bankrupt, having been adjudged or otherwise declared bankrupt under any law. I am not under a sentence of debt imposed on me by a court of law in any part of the Commonwealth. No, I am serving a sentence of imprisonment. I am Virgil Brown of Camps Estates in the parish of St. James. Do solemnly and sincerely swear or affirm as follows: that I am duly qualified in accordance with Section 27 and 28 of the Constitution of the St. Christopher and Nevis to be elected as a member of the National Assembly for the electoral district, and that I am a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis of age 21 years and upwards. I'm domiciled in St. Kitts and Nevis. I'm here to represent the people of St. James. It is clear that the last 5 years, the CCM government has not done a good job for the people of St. James nor the people of Nevis. And I feel very much torn inside knowing that that is the case. And what I want to do here today, as you saw, is to make a statement that I am going to go forward. For the past 25 years, we have been abandoned in St. James, and the St. James people, they will make a statement this time around.
Sincerely swear as follows, that I am duly qualified in accordance with Section 27 and 28 of the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis to be elected as a member of the National Assembly for the electoral district, and that 1. I am a citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis of the age of 21 and upwards. 2. I am domiciled in St. Christopher and Nevis. 3. I am not, by virtue of any act, or under acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state. I am not a minister of religion. I am not an undischarged bankrupt, having been a judge or otherwise declared bankrupt under any law. 6. I am not a person certified to be insane or otherwise adjudged to be of unsound mind under any law. 7. I am not under a sentence of death imposed on me by a court of law in any part of the Commonwealth, nor am I serving a sentence of imprisonment by whatever name called, exceeding 12 months imposed on me by such a court or substituted by a competent authority for some other sentence of imprisonment, the execution of which has been suspended. I am not disqualified for membership of the National Assembly by any law of the National Assembly by reason of my holding or acting in any office, the function of which involve A, any responsibility for or in connection with the conduct of any election of representatives or members of the Nevis Island Assembly, or B, any responsibility for the compilation of any register of voters for the purpose of electing a representative or member of the Nevis Island Assembly. I am not disqualified for membership in the National Assembly by virtue of any, or by virtue of my having any contract or interest in any contract with the government or with the Department of Government or any officer of the government acting as such. And I make this declaration conscientiously believing the same to be true, and I am aware that if there is any statement in this declaration which is false or do not believe to be true, I am liable to a fine and imprisonment as prescribed by the law.
Okay. Yes, okay. Okay, let's...
And in District 5, St. Thomas's, the candidates are Joseph Parry of the Nevis Reformation Party and Keith Scarborough of the Concerned Citizens Movement.
Duly qualified in accordance with Section 27 and 28 of the Constitution of St. Christopher Nevis to be elected as a member of the Nevis Island Assembly. I am domiciled in St. Kitts, St. Christopher Nevis. I am not, by virtue of any known act, under acknowledgement or allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power state. I am not a minister of religion. I am not on discharge bankrupt, having been a judge or otherwise declared bankrupt under any law. I am not a person certified to be insane or otherwise a judge of unsound mind under the
constituency.
The undersigned voters for the constituency of 5 do hereby nominate the following person as a proper person to serve as a member of the Nevis Island Assembly of St. Christopher and Nevis for the said constituency of 5.
And we certify that to the best of our belief, he or she is qualified for election as a member of the Nevis Assembly.
I'm looking forward to this election. I believe that the Nevis Reformation Party has done more than enough to be elected, and I believe the concerned citizens have done absolutely nothing to be considered to be re-elected. So I am feeling pretty confident. As I move around Nevis, I hear the people speaking, and I think they want a change. And a change we need to have in Nevis for Nevis to move forward. My concerns are about the electoral process. We want to have a clean and fair election. No interference with the list. Names that were removed without objections, I want those names back on. They went to court and the judge made a ruling back in 2013 that no names should be removed without the people being properly informed. This has not been done, and so I want to remind them that there are quite a number of persons, especially in St. James and St. John's, who have been removed from the list without their knowledge, without them getting a chance to object, and Charlestown as well, and that needs to be rectified. Otherwise, back to court we go.
We're here at Cotton Ground at the Community Center to nominate Keith Scarborough, MBE, our candidate for this area of St. Thomas's. We believe the people of St. Thomas's are anxious for good representation, and we believe that Keith Scarborough has what it takes to represent them and represent them well. So we're looking forward to their support on election day for the CCM candidate, Keith Scarborough, MBE.
Solemnly and sincerely swear or affirm as follows: that I am duly qualified in accordance with sections 27 and 28 of the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis, and that I am a citizen of St. Christopher and Nevis of the age of 21 years and upwards. I am domiciled in St. Christopher and Nevis. I am not, by virtue of my own act, under acknowledgement of allegiance, obedience, or adherence to a foreign power or state, under a sentence of death imposed on me by a court of law in any part of the Commonwealth, nor am I serving a sentence of imprisonment. I am not disqualified for membership of the National Assembly by any law of the National Assembly. I am not disqualified for membership of the National Assembly by virtue of any law of Parliament by reason of my having been convicted of criminal offence that is connected with the conduct of any election of representatives or members of the Nevis Island Assembly.
of St. Christopher and Nevis for the said constituency, I believe he is or she is qualified for election.
Phase of the process is over, which was to be nominated, and I want to thank the two persons next to me, Denzel Webb and Ms. Cheryl Wilkerson, for agreeing to nominate me. I want to thank as well the executive members of the Concerned Citizens Movement Party for choosing me as the candidate here in St. Thomas's Parish. The second phase, of course, will be next week Monday, when we have election day. And we are asking the people of St. Thomas's Parish to please give the support this time around. Let us all ensure that a new direction is taken here in St. Thomas's Parish. New ideas come to the fore, new thinking, and of course, after these elections are over, we shall see a new St. Thomas's Parish with a new representative coming in 2018.
The symbol of the Concerned Citizens Movement is the hammer, and the symbol of the Nevis Reformation Party is the bottle. More than 11,000 persons are registered, a 12% increase over that of 2013. 34 sites have been identified at which you, the voters, will vote. In District 1, Charlestown, voting will take place at the Charlestown Primary School, the Methodist Conference Center, the Magistrates Court, and the High Courts. The Charlestown Primary School has replaced the Shiloh Baptist Church. Let me repeat that. The Charlestown Primary School has replaced the Shiloh Baptist Church. Box number 1 and box number 2 have been split based on the large number of voters assigned to these boxes, and so therefore there is 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3, and 4, 6 polling sites. These splits are along alphabetical lines, and the completed list will be displayed within the area. In District 2, St. John's, the stations are the Barracks at Bath, the Ivor Walters Primary School, the Special Education Unit, the Brompasture School Computer Lab, the Church of God at Cox, and the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School. The station that was traditionally at the Pentecostal Church next to Hosford's will be located next door in the Education Building at Marion Heights. And except for the Cox box, all the other boxes are split alphabetically. Box number 1 is split into 2 parts, and boxes 2 and 3 are so large that they have been split into 4 stations each. Thus, there is 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D, 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D, and 4, a total of 11 voting stations. Checked in your district or at the office or in the weekend papers for details. In District 3, Gingerland, the voting sites are the Zion Methodist Church, the Hanleys Road Community Center, the Hard Times House, the Gingerland Preschool, and the Joycelyn Liebert Primary School. Station 4 will be split. 4A will have voters whose surnames start with A and ending with those whose surnames start with K, and will be at the Hard Times House. Station 4B will be at the Joycelyn Liebert Primary School for those whose surnames start with L and end with those whose surnames start with Y. The church at Fenton Hill that traditionally was used will not be used this time. Thus, for District 3 Gingerland, we have stations 1, 2, 3, 4A, 4B, and 5. In District 4, St. James's, the sites are Butler's Community Center, Church of God in Brooklyn, Franklin Brown Community Center, the Methodist Hall in Fountain, and the Violet O. Jeffers Nichols Primary School. At the school, VOJN School, 2 stations, 5A and 5B, will be located. Therefore, for District 4 St. James, we have stations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5A, and 5B. In District 5 St. Thomas's, we are using community centers in Cotton Ground and in Jessops, as well as the Roman Catholic Church Hall. 2 stations each will be at the community centers, so we will have 1A and 1B in Cotton Ground, 2A and 2B in Jessops, and Station 3 at the Roman Catholic Hall. Now, those of you who know Nevis will realize that we have tried to have voting in clusters. Thus, if you miss your name at one site, you will not have to go far to find it. The instructions to voters will be available in the newspapers and posted about the community. Please study them so that you can vote properly come Election Day. I also wish to advise that the Electoral Commission met today to review preparations for the upcoming elections and are satisfied with these preparations. Finally, I want to appeal to all of us to pray, join us in prayer, that on Monday the 18th we'll have a nice and sunny day. I want to thank you, and may God continue to bless us all.